Why should we even build with AI?
Good question, Michelle. So I think there are two components to the question. Why should we even build with AI? The first is the spatial question, which is why should we build with AI? The second is the temporal question, which is why should we build it now, right? Because there's two components to that. But before we get to that, let's come up with something that we all agree on. I think we all want optionalities in life. We want freedom. And in order to get that, the one medium that can allow us to do that is money, right? So we do all of that stuff for money, but money is not what we're after. We're after the optionality, the freedom. And so if you look at that, the way we go after money right now is we go to work, we produce something that people want, right? These are products and services, basically. And if you look at AI, some people see AI as a tool. So it's as if today I come to you and say, Michelle, I'm going to give you a screwdriver, do something with it. So you go figure it out, you become a carpenter, and then you create something and you make money, and then you get your freedom. But when I hand you an AI, I'm actually handing you not just a tool, I'm actually handing you sort of an army of workers. So the way you think about building with AI is now different, because before you're just building that one thing and you need to be good at it. You need to learn it. There's a lot of knowledge that goes into leveraging that one tool to be good at it before you can sort of produce value out of that. But with AI, you can create value pretty much immediately, and the scale of that is huge because you get an army now. Now, if I give you a huge army of workers right now, would you just sit them on a bench and do nothing? Or would you have them do something so you can get that optionality and freedom I was talking about? The freedom. So of course you want to do something with it. You're not going to let them sit there. So to answer your question, yes, if you have AI right now, you have access to that, don't just use it as a tool. Use it like as a way to build a nation or to build a community, to build a big business. You have to think big because the tool is there and you know what you're after in life, which is freedom. And so that's AI is the right tool to achieve that.
I love the way you put it, Boone, where it's like you get more than one person, or you're not just building up one thing anymore. You're not creating one thing for money, for example. You actually have a team of people.
Yeah.
I think, myself, I'm a founder. I have no idea how to do anything to do with technical side of anything. So for me, I guess my question there is, but how do I program these AI agents to kind of build for me or on my behalf? And
Yeah.
I think, what would you say to founders right now that are just kind of like, I know I can hear you, like AI does seem useful, but also it seems really daunting?
Yeah. I think a lot of this sort of barriers come from pre-AI. Because you always think that technology is, there's a barrier that you have to learn it, but AI actually changes a lot of that. I think once you know the learning curve is not steep, you're going to jump into it. So really for me, it's really getting people to go over that small hump. It's not even a big barrier. So because AI, like especially the generative AI side of things, it is responding to your question. So all you have to do is just be able to, know a language and be able to type or be able to talk, like speak to your AI, and AI can do it for you. Now, the other advantage of AI is that it's getting easier and easier by the day as well. So even if you sit there and do nothing, the access you have to the tool is getting easier to use by the day, because even a non-tech co-founder can use a tool to do all kinds of things, including coding as well. So I think a large part of the barrier is really just taking that half an hour or a few hours that day to get used to it. But the actual barrier is actually not there. It's mostly psychological, coming from the pre-AI world.
How do we break down those barriers?
First of all, we obviously are habitual animals, right? We do things that we are, we are sort of familiar with, and we do it day by day. So to break out of that and really go use AI is a new habit in a way. So people always tell me which is that one thing I should focus on. So just start with something simple like ChatGPT or any other LLMs out there, and just be familiar with it, because right away you get to see the kind of power you get from that, right? So, and then of course, like I said, there's a lot of other tools out there. Some tools will still need a little bit of learning to use, but the way I see it is that every tool that you know is adding wings to your back. So it's so much, the ROI is so big and so immediate when you learn it. So I think it's really not so much about the barrier to learn how to use AI, but more so to install the habit to use it and to learn about it. And the installation of that habit to really sort of be up to speed with the new tools and learn it and use it and integrate it into your workflow is what people need to sort of consciously get themselves into. I mean, using AI is way less difficult than you doing the podcast right now, right? So the fact that you can do podcast, the fact that you can speak, it's like you can do AI, use AI for sure. So the barrier is definitely not so much there, other than that we have to consciously install habit of learning it and then using it every day.